Good morning. This is Chris Dubois from the Awakening Church. I hope you're enjoying the Lord and are blessed. I wanted to speak with you real briefly about the topic of depression. Just recently, as we've all heard, Robin Williams, the famous actor, passed away based on suicide, and it was a fact that he had struggled with depression for most of his whole life. I want to talk about the subject of depression from a biblical angle. I am not a doctor, I am not a psychologist. I won't go at it from a medical or biological angle, but from a biblical angle. And I think the Bible does have a lot to say on the topic. So let's just look at it real shortly. I wanted to, first of all, mention that according to Isaiah 53, verses 4 through 5, it talks about the atonement of Jesus Christ, what he did on the cross for us, and the purpose of that. And we see in Matthew 8, verse 16 and 17, Jesus interpreting Isaiah 53 and applying it in a situation where he healed a person physically. And let's read that. Let's actually just focus on Matthew 8:17. Actually 16. That evening they brought to him, to Jesus, many who were oppressed by demons, and he cast out the spirits with a word. And he healed all who were sick. Sick how? In body, right? This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. He took our illnesses and he bore our diseases. So we see in Isaiah 53 that Jesus not only saved us from our spiritual disease, i.e. sin, but he also saved us from our physical disease, sickness in the body. And so we see that the atonement not only applies to sin, but the effects of the results of sin being sickness in the body. This also applies to sickness in the mind, sickness in the emotions. So we see that Jesus came as the healer. He wants to heal us, no matter if our disease is depression, if our disease is loneliness or rejection or something physical in the body, cancer, you name it. Obviously saving us from our spiritual disease, sin. Jesus is a healer, and he wants to heal us body, soul, and spirit, the whole person, emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So when we look at depression, the answer is ultimately Jesus. And if you're struggling this morning with depression, there can be many variables as to what caused that. I don't think we should oversimplify it or overgeneralize it and just say, well, look, all you need is more faith and that's it. Faith can definitely play a part and does, but it isn't that simple often. So what we got to do is we got to go after Jesus, and he will pinpoint the areas that have caused this depression in our life. It can be as simple as something as bad nutrition or stress or lack of sleep or lack of exercise. It can be something more complicated with chemistry in the brain, and it can be based on circumstances. It can be based on sin in our life. It can be based on our perspective and attitude. Depression can come about from a whole host of variables. So we need to, first of all, understand the root of that depression. And second, then we need to seek after Jesus for freedom or healing from that root cause. Jesus came that in John 10:10, he came, the thief came to steal, kill, and destroy, but Jesus says, I have come to give you life and life more abundantly. We also see in John 15 that Jesus said he came to give us joy and joy to the fullness. It says in Nehemiah that the joy of the Lord is our strength. So we have to realize that first of all, God wants to make us happy. He wants to bless us. He wants us to find joy that's not based on circumstances or on what others are doing to us or on everything going our way, but a joy that's 24/7 in the depths of our heart. So Jesus is that, and he will give that to us. He is the answer to all that's good in life. Sin is the root of all our pain and problem. So I just want to encourage you, if you're struggling with depression, that Jesus came to set the captive free, Luke 4. He came to deliver the oppressed. He came to set you free if you're depressed. Just keep going after him. It might happen instantly, but often it's a process. Just keep going after Jesus, and he is the answer and the cure for all depression. Thank you.